100 million. Yeah, you heard that right. 100 million. That is the sheer number of customer records left completely exposed to the open web. And it all happened because of a single misconfigured firewall. It's a staggering number, isn't it? We're talking bank details, social security numbers, just deeply personal information sitting out there for the taking. This isn't some made-up worst-case scenario. This is the reality of modern data infrastructure, and it sets the stage perfectly for exactly why the stakes in our industry have literally never been higher.
So welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to break down the core architecture of cloud security. We'll look at the biggest threats, the smart mitigations, and, frankly, the incredible career opportunities that come from mastering these exact challenges. Because here's the secret. Major companies are actively hunting down and paying absolute top dollar to the professionals who can stop these high-stakes corporate disasters from happening. And today, we're going to decode exactly how you do that. Here is a quick look at our roadmap for today. 1. The cloud security boom. 2. Data breaches and hijacked accounts. 3. Insiders and insecure APIs. 4. Surviving massive DDoS attacks. And finally, number 5, the power of monitoring. Honestly, treat this structure as your ultimate study guide and interview prep for cloud architecture. Let's get into it. Starting off with Section 1, the cloud security boom. You know, as massive amounts of personal and corporate data have aggressively shifted over to the cloud, protecting it has become everything. Data is, without a doubt, the single most important asset a company holds right now. And protecting it? Well, that all comes down to a core concept, the CII triad. This is the absolute foundation of everything we're talking about today. C is for confidentiality, meaning we prevent any unauthorized person from even taking a peek at the data. I is for integrity, ensuring nobody can secretly tamper with or change it. And A is for availability, which means the data is always there, 24/7, exactly when it's needed. Guaranteeing these three pillars for massive datasets is a huge challenge for sure. But it's exactly why companies are paying top dollar for professionals who can architect systems that actually deliver on this promise. Let's move on to Section 2, data breaches and hijacked accounts. The tone shifts a bit here, guys, because we really need to look at the most common and, frankly, devastating threats out there. Okay, let's dive into this. Remember that 100 million number I mentioned at the very beginning? That was the infamous Capital One disaster. The crazy part? Attackers didn't use some impossibly complex, movie-style hacker software to get in. No way. They just found a simple loophole, literally a single misconfigured firewall, and walked right through the front door. The fallout was brutal. We're talking a massive loss of corporate credibility. And as you probably know, the second news like this breaks, a company's stock value absolutely plummets, and customers take their business straight to rivals. So how exactly do we architect a defense against this? Well, the mitigations are actually surprisingly straightforward if you implement them correctly. First up, end-to-end encryption. Your data must be encrypted when it's resting on the servers and when it's moving across the network. That way, if a hacker does breach the system, all they get is unreadable gibberish. Second is role-based access control, or RBAC. Think about it. It makes zero sense for everyone in a company to have the exact same level of access. A CEO, a software developer, and a finance team member need entirely different permissions based specifically on their daily roles. But hey, it's not just about firewalls. It's about securing the accounts themselves. Take the Tesla AWS account breach. Their cloud environment was pretty poorly secured, which left the door wide open for hijackers. Whether an attacker exploits weak passwords or sends a clever phishing email, once a bad actor has those credentials, they can steal highly sensitive data or, even worse, just start deleting your critical infrastructure outright. To structurally prevent a catastrophic full system takeover, we use a brilliant architectural strategy. In environments like AWS, you have a root user, and then you have IAM users. The root user has absolute, unrestricted power. If a hacker compromises that root login, it is literally game over. So to protect against this, you lock the root user account away and strictly use IAM users. These are sub-accounts with highly specific, very limited permissions. That way, if an IAM account gets compromised, the blast radius is totally contained. It's such a smart move. To truly mitigate these hijacks, we have to layer our defenses. Multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is an absolute must. You have to require a secondary device or email to verify a login. Next up is the least privilege principle. Listen, this means you never, ever give out broad access just because someone happens to be your friend or a trusted colleague. You give them the bare minimum access required to do their job, nothing more. And finally, you deploy continuous monitoring tools like SIEM protocols to instantly flag any weird outlier behavior happening inside the network. Moving right along into Section 3, insiders and insecure APIs. Now, this is crucial because sometimes the danger comes from inside the house or from the very connections we build. Because the biggest threat isn't always an anonymous hacker in a basement. Insider threats involve internal employees or third-party vendors, and we've seen plenty of AWS incidents that perfectly illustrate this. The most critical defense here is an airtight, strict offboarding process. When someone departs a company, their user privileges must be revoked immediately. On top of that, you have to enforce robust data loss prevention, or DLP policies, to stop an outbound employee from quietly transferring sensitive data to a personal external drive before they walk out the door. And this brilliantly illustrates our next major vulnerability, APIs, or Application Programming Interfaces. APIs are those essential connections that let different cloud services talk to each other. But if they aren't secure, they become wide-open windows for attackers. The massive Facebook API leak, or the countless times we've seen exposed Amazon S3 buckets, these are prime examples of major corporate disasters born entirely from poorly secured third-party connections. Fixing this requires a strict defensive playbook. First, you implement rigorous API authentication, ensuring only verified systems can actually connect. Then, regular security testing is a must to hunt down vulnerabilities before the bad guys do. But perhaps most importantly, you have to implement rate limiting. This restricts how often a user or system can access your API in a given time frame, which is absolutely crucial for stopping attackers from rapidly extracting massive data sets all at once. All right, let's raise the stakes again with Section 4, surviving massive DDoS attacks. These attacks are designed to completely crash a system. A distributed denial of service, or DDoS attack, isn't really about stealing your data. It's about completely crashing your servers by overwhelming them with fake traffic. To really grasp the scale here, let's look at the legendary GitHub attack. Attackers slammed their system with an unbelievable 1.3 terabits per second of pure junk traffic. Now, to make that abstract number a bit more digestible, think about this. Streaming a 4K video on Netflix takes about 25 megabits per second. A 1.3 terabit per second attack is equal to 55 million people trying to watch 4K Netflix on your server at the exact same millisecond. That sheer volume of data is just mind-blowing. It's designed to make your system buckle and fail, completely cutting off your availability, which, remember, is that crucial A in the CIA triad. Surviving that kind of overwhelming onslaught takes serious infrastructure. You have to activate heavy-duty shields, like AWS Shield, Cloudflare, or Azure Protection, to actively filter out the bad traffic. You deploy load balancers to distribute the stress across multiple servers, so no single unit takes the full hit. And crucially, you utilize auto-scaling. Think about platforms like Hotstar or Geo during a massive cricket match. They might jump from 1 million to 20 million viewers in just minutes. Autoscaling dynamically adds server capacity instantly to handle that massive spike in demand, keeping the whole system alive. Finally, we're at Section 5, the power of monitoring. Because at the end of the day, even the absolute best defenses require a watchman. All the defenses we've talked about are fantastic, but they mean absolutely nothing if you aren't actually paying attention. Consider the story of IndusInd Bank. Because of delayed auditing and a lack of continuous monitoring, a massive financial mismatch went totally unnoticed. When the news finally broke and the breach was discovered, the consequences were devastating. The stock price was instantly halved. Just think about that. 10 years of stock market gains wiped out overnight, sending the stock's value all the way back to its 2015 levels. So the crucial point is perfectly captured right here. A small wound can easily be remedied, but left unmonitored, it converts into a major, incurable disease. If you catch an anomaly today, it's a quick fix, right? But if you discover it through a massive audit 6 months down the line, well, it's a corporate catastrophe. Continuous, early monitoring and auditing are absolutely non-negotiable in cloud architecture. We've covered a lot today. The explosive growth of the cloud, the devastation of data breaches, the hidden complexities of APIs, the sheer force of DDoS attacks, and the vital necessity of constant monitoring. Listen, every single threat we discussed today is actually a highly lucrative career opportunity just waiting for the right professional to master it. The industry desperately needs architects who can build these defenses. So the only question left for you is, are you ready to step up and secure the ecosystem?